Hello. I'd like to tell you part two of the history of the Indians of the United States. The first group were, of course, the Delaware, and they drove the mound builders south. The second group would be the Snakes. That was their symbol, and they went over to what is now Mexico. Well, when you're going south, what you do is you didn't have McDonald's in those days, so you'd have to send the young men ahead. They'd clean out a field, burn down the trees, and plant corn. And then when the corn was ready to be harvested, the whole tribe would move down. Well, this is a 70-year journey to get from there to all the way down the Mississippi. Now, then one of the tribes, they're talking about one of the tribes, they left some yard signs, and one was the effigy mounds over McGregor, Iowa, rather, right on the banks of the Mississippi. And it shows 9 bears going south and 1 bear going north. Well, what appears to be Aztec Indians would happen to be over in Minnesota, north of there, up around Minnesota or Wisconsin, those areas. The other 9 went south. Again, another tribe broke away, and it seems that they became the Natchez Indians. And the interesting thing about the Natchez Indians, their word for war was the same word that they used for game. I mean, they loved having war with everybody and beating up people just like the Aztecs. And they also loved human sacrifice. Well, one time they snuck up on a French that had a group down there when they finally moved in, and they killed them, massacred them. What the French did was they hired some other Indians who hated these Natchez Indians, and they went over and massacred the Natchez. Well, the Natchez were pretty well wiped out after that. But the other 9, well, now it would be around 8, moved over into what is now Mexico. Now, how do we know all these different things? What are some of their similarities? Well, exostosis of the ear. There's an inner growth of the ear is one of the signs, and this growth will be there and eventually cause a person to lose their hearing and auditory. And what happened was that the Aztecs had a very high frequency of exostosis, and so did apparently the mound builders. The mound builders had face masks. What tribes went around with face masks? The mound builders were one of them, and Quetzalcoatl was apparently the one that set the idea of a face mask. He came out one day to talk to the people, and somebody said, "Oh, he looks so old." So he put he went into back to his tent or whatever it was, and he felt so bad. And somebody came over and put a headdress on him, and like a face hoodie, and it covered his face except for the eyes. And this is very similar. The snake symbol, that was similar with the mound builders, and of course with the Aztec Indians. The Aztec Indians said their homeland had 4 temples, and what happens over at Monk's Mound, Illinois, there are 4. There's one big mound, but each one of those has a platform there, and 4 platforms. When my brother and I, when he was still alive, we went visiting several times, and we found out that the Aztec Indians, the mound builders, 2 of these had been excavated. One faced one direction and another faced the other. I asked if they had excavated the other 2 levels, and they said no. Ancient pottery, southern Illinois, seemed to be the same as over in Mexico, northern Mexico. Weaving machines, same again. Now remember, the Aztecs were clannish. They stuck together. They didn't intermarry. What happened then? When they left the workers back over Illinois, the Illinois Indians. The yardsticks. Think about the yardstick. You're going on a journey for 70 years. Who's going to keep that yardstick the same? Well, the yardsticks that were used for measuring the mounds and the difference between the mounds was almost exactly the same. Figures in some of these, skull deformation, and all these other different things as well. You had several other things. The mound builders of Etowah, Georgia, seem to be Aztecs. So we have all these different sources that are possibly true, and it shows that the Aztec Indians, if you follow out the rest of them, Aztec Indians were pretty much the same as the mound builders. Now, they also said they came from the land of the herons. Well, Ohio River region is known for herons. It couldn't be out west. It had to be east of the Mississippi, where the mound builders were. They also called Florida. They said Florida is now what they said in those days was Florida, was from Texas all the way to Florida. And Cibola, or the name of the buffalo. So what we're talking about is many similarities between these different snakes and the Aztec Indians. And by the way, the Aztec Indians never went by the word Aztec. That was somebody the Spanish gave to them, and they called that they called themselves the Mexica. So thank you for watching this, and I hope it stimulates you to start going out and finding out about the mound builders and the Aztec Indians. Thank you very much for watching.